Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keeping Fish Simple. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of people kind of have questions about and something that I haven't really explained in the past. On this channel, I make heaps of informational videos about all the aquariums I have and all the different fish that I have, a lot of vlogs and things like that because I breed a ton of fish. Some of the fish I breed are very rare and expensive and some of them are pretty common, but I do a lot of crazy things on this channel relating to keeping freshwater fish. In today's video, I'm going to be pretty much explaining the whole entire business of what I do, what I plan to achieve, how I make money, and how I can afford to have a whole entire fish room like this at the age of 20. This isn't trying to be a video of me like flexing anything. I've never been a person that's wanted to go and flaunt what I have. I think it'll be very interesting for a lot of people because when I started my channel, it never intended to be the way it is, and I'm sure that this is going to continue to grow into something much bigger than I expect. Without any further ado, let's get started. So here at Keeping Fish Simple, I don't really know what I'm trying to achieve, and every day I'm just trying to make this business a little bit better. The whole business behind this channel is creating informational content and educational content. That's the major part of my business. The other parts of this business is obviously trying to build this into a proper wholesale business where I can breed and sell fish wholesale, and hopefully over a bit more time I'll be able to get there where I have like this huge facility and I'm breeding all these really cool fish. Currently the business runs off of I think 3 main income streams that I can think of off the top of my head. The main one is the ad revenue. That's where I make most of my money. Every time someone comes and watches these videos, you guys come and watch them and like them and all that kind of stuff. YouTube obviously pays me. Now, because I make really family-friendly content and content with no profanity and things like that, my ad revenue tends to be a little bit higher than other people's. So I do get paid a little bit more, and normally that's within the range of either $2 to $10 per video. The second part of the business is actually breeding fish and selling them to you guys. So I have a website down below. It's keepingfishsimple.com. The main part of the business is selling this to a wholesaler, but I do sell quite a large number of fish on my website to people in Australia. Because these are live fish, I can't send them to a lot of places like say in the States and things like that. It's just too difficult. So the third part is selling fish to shops. I do take quite a large number of the fish I breed, about 3 or 4 different stores here in Brisbane. Anything that's kind of left over after I've sold to you guys, after I've taken them to the shop, all that leftover stock then goes to a wholesaler for a bit of a cheaper price, and the wholesaler can make some money, and it kind of all around works really well. See, I also have like a couple of merch designs down below and I make a little bit of money from that, but it's not a crazy amount. So how did this all start? Well, it goes back about 8 years ago when I was 13 years old and I picked up my first aquarium. Now, there's like a whole story. I've probably explained it in a bunch of other videos, but I started keeping fish because I went to the creek, caught a couple of guppies. They actually had babies in this little tiny breeder box that I had, and then just from there I got an actual aquarium because I was watching all these YouTube videos, and then eventually I started, you know, after a year I had like 7 tanks, and that was at age 13, 14. I was keeping guppies and angelfish and things like that, but I wasn't breeding anything like I am today. And then eventually I kind of stopped keeping fish for a bit while I was going through high school, but in the last year of high school, for some reason, it just really tickled my fancy, getting back into the hobby. I was really enjoying them and I started to make my own YouTube videos. So I kept making videos. I made 1 video every week during my senior year of school. At the end of the year, I had like 10,000 subscribers, or maybe a little bit less, which was really cool. And obviously because of that, I was making a little bit of extra money. What I decided to do, I wanted to open up some kind of business with all of this stuff. I had like 8 tanks at home, and we came upon the idea of setting up a breeding facility. I called my granddad and I asked him if I could borrow this garage that he had on one of his properties, and he said yes. We fit 65 tanks in here. This garage that I'm in right now, it's 16 meters squared. It used to belong to a cafe, and we basically took everything out of that cafe. It was in terrible state. We took everything out, we painted it, we fixed it up, we plumbed it and everything like that. Now we've got all these tanks in here. So that's kind of how this whole fish room started. Now I'm in here, it's a 16 meter squared room, so it's very small. It's a single car garage, really crazy, and I can't believe that I've gotten where I am today. Honestly, it's thanks to you guys. Like, without my YouTube channel doing as well as it did in that period, and you guys continually supporting my videos and watching them and, you know, leaving comments and liking them and everything like that, you know, I'm extremely lucky and almost blessed in a way to have had this opportunity to do this. Now, because I'm buying all these rare and expensive fish like discus, say, and, you know, zebra plecos and things like that, which are very expensive here in Australia, a lot of people have asked me how much money I make. Now, that I believe is kind of personal and something that I don't want to share because it's personal. Most months I do all right. I am normally green, sometimes I'm red, but most of the time I'm green, and we're doing okay here. When we do actually make money here, it's always put into the business again, and either getting new fish, saving up for a new facility, just even little things like setting up new RO water systems, the better breeding rack and things like that, it's always put back into the business instead of just, you know, putting it in my pockets and lining my pockets with all this new cash. I always put it back into the business and try and make this into something that's long-term, sustainable. I don't keep a lot of the money that I make from this business. Now, obviously, with a fish room this big and the amount of fish that I have, my expenses can be quite high. Now, in this fish room, we've got water expenses, like the water bills, electricity from the heating and stuff like that, light. We've got food, which is a massive expense for me sometimes. It depends what kind of food we get. Like, for instance, brine shrimp can cost me about 250 bucks a month just to raise up all these fries. So you can see how all these numbers add up quickly. Like, even bags for fish, that can be a big expense. There's all these different expenses and stuff like that, which, you know, it's not as lucrative as people think. So I've got this whole entire room where I actually spend most of my days here. I come in the morning and the afternoon every day. I can leave this for a couple of days at a time, but I really don't like to do that because it's just not fair on the fish. It kills my breeding cycles and stuff like that because I miss spawns and things like that. So I'm here most days. You're probably wondering, with all these fish, how do the videos even get made? Now, basically all my videos, I've got two main styles of videos. So I've got these informational videos and I've also got vlogs. So the informational videos kind of start with an idea. I'll probably get like a comment from a subscriber, or I'll do some research and come up with a few ideas on the video that I want to talk about. For instance, I might have a video where I want to talk about albino corydoras. And then basically what I do is I plan up the video and I like list down all the points that I want to cover in that video. And just a small script. I don't ever script my videos. I kind of go off the top of my head, but I just have all these pointers like I was doing a speech. What I do is I come in, I bring my camera into the fish room, which is really annoying, you know, because you have like not having the fish room at home means you have to haul stuff in between, which can be really tricky because sometimes like you leave like an SD card at home and you have to go all the way back, and yeah, it's really annoying. But what then happens is I record the raw footage, and then what I do is I send the footage to my editor. So my editor's Kobe. He's gonna flash up himself here. He's been really, really awesome, and he's just come on in the last month, and a lot of you guys have noticed, and he's been doing a really, really good job at the editing because I've needed an editor for a very long time. Having an editor now gives me more time to focus on the fish and to actually grow the part of the business which I think is important, and that's the wholesale business. Kobe edits the video, then he sends me a draft, and then I watch the draft, and then I send it back and give him a few pointers of what I'd like fixed. Then he sends me the final cut, and then I, you know, make a thumbnail, I do all the like tags and stuff like that and upload it, and then you guys get to watch it. And then with the vlogs, basically, they're a little bit tricky to make and I'm still getting my head around it, but I pretty much just do all the jobs in the fish room and try and vlog on all the stuff that's kind of interesting. For instance, if a pair of discus have a spawn, or if the black rams spawn, or if I'm collecting eggs from something, or if there's like a little piece of information that I want to share, vlogs can be recorded in either one day or they can be recorded over 7 days or 2 weeks sometimes. So it all depends on what's happening in the fish room. What happens with them is Kobe does not like editing some of these vlogs sometimes because there's just a huge amount of footage. We can record up to an hour and a half worth of footage for a 20-minute vlog, and then I send that raw footage to Kobe as well. He edits that down, sends me a final cut, and then we upload those as well. So that's how the videos are made here, and that's basically how the business runs. I just wanted to make this video to clear the air because a lot of people like from the outside are just wondering, you know, how do I afford all this stuff? How does the business work? And how can you help to support me? And honestly, guys, like the only way and the only thing I ask is to keep watching the videos and enjoying them and leaving comments and giving me feedback, because it helps me to make better videos. And if you guys tell me what you want, you guys just watching these videos and liking them is more than enough for me. Now, yes, you can support the business by going and buying fish, but you don't have to do that. I'm not trying to ask for your money. I'm going to continue what I'm doing here, and I hope that this video kind of cleared the air a little bit with just understanding what I'm doing and how this all works. Thanks guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.